excited. I don't mind telling you I'm absolutely pushing my cat.
Well, my jaws are absolutely sodden old.
Nowhere has a finer tradition in the theatre than all Glasgow.
I know, it's just one big gallus palace of variety.
You don't have to look at what heritage, the Empire, the Metropole, the Tivoli.
The Ashoka.
The 6:05 show.
Oh, the whole plate here, Stanley Baxter, Jimmy Logan.
Christian.
Oh, Chris McClure, the chanter that goes on a banter.
Christian.
Chris McClure.
So good they named him twice.
Looking for trouble. If you came to that place, you're looking for trouble. Look right in my face. I was born standing up and talking back. We are mountains and evil. I know this is real. You mess around with me. Never look for trouble. I never ran. Rotating the waters. No kind of man. I'm only made out flesh, blood, and bone. But if you wanna start a rumble, don't start it on your own, because I'm evil.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to a memorial for Chris McClure. Give him a cheer. It's going to be a beautiful night, a sad night, an emotional night, but ultimately a celebration of Christian's life. I take it you're all fans? That's good. I'm glad you've come out of the house. You get in the house watching Good Night. There's Emmerdale, no, EastEnders, and watching something on your dodgy Amazon stick. But you've chosen to come out here and celebrate with us the life of Chris McClure. My name's Edward Reid, by the way. I'm your host for this evening. Oh, please, it's not about me, it's not about me, it's not about me. I was lucky enough to work with Christian several times throughout the years, but the first time I met him, I worked at the Pavilion in a show called Please Stay. I played the gay hairdresser. Don't know why they asked me, but can I cut hair to save myself? But it was my first professional job in Scotland, and obviously I was with Chris McClure. I couldn't wait to tell my mum and dad who I was working with, and I remember being a wee bit nervous, but he obviously being the star of the show, and if you've seen the show, he played himself 30 years younger, and you would not know the difference. Because he still looked great, he looked young, and his performance was still electric. And also, he was such a beautiful human being because he made me feel safe and always was very supportive with his kind's words. And I think you'll find throughout the night, the clear line that's running through the night is that he was an amazing performer and a gentleman. And you'll hear from everyone speaking tonight, our acts tonight, are all here because of their talent, but mostly because of their love of Christian, and we've all worked with them. The acts are all here. We've got some amazing singers. Our band is here. Give our band a cheer, they're amazing. And we've got some speakers on tonight, comedians, producers, agents that have all worked with Christian throughout the years. We would all want to come and share stories and celebrate his life. The songs that are being sung tonight are all songs that Christian was famous for. So we're going to take you back in time. A time when you had your own teeth. And you could bend down and tie your shoelaces and breathe at the same time. So nostalgic, we hope you sing, we hope you clap, we hope you dance. There's nobody into the social, you won't get your money cut. If we see you dancing, you're fit enough to dance, you're fit enough to work, so don't worry, we won't tell anybody. We're joined tonight by Christian's son, Christopher. I don't know who he is. Yes. He's known as Big Chris. An emotional night is going to be for him. We'll be watching videos. Did you see the videos tonight? It's hit us all hard because you can hear his voice and see him, and it's going to be that all throughout the night. So Christopher is here. We call him Big Chris because he's with his son, who we call Wee Chris, who's actually 6'2" and bigger than everybody, so I don't know why he's called Wee Chris. And they're joined by Big Christopher's mum, Anne Wilson, who was also supported Christian all throughout his career. So it's a family affair tonight. I heard earlier on that he worked, Christian Chris, worked with Dolly Parton, Jackson 5, the Osmonds did the Pavilion, not the Pavilion, the Palladium in London. He was on Top of the Pops. He had one of those careers that were amazing. He also turned his hand to a wee bit of acting. And this, our first speaker was one of the producers of two of the shows that he started, I think maybe 3 actually. He'll tell you, he knows more. Please give your first speaker a big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. It's Colin McGregor. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Now, I hear a few murmurs going, who's he? Well, I'm about to tell you, I'm a gay hairdresser. No, I'm joking. Now, my name's Colin McGregor, and what we've just witnessed earlier with Chris on the screen, the opening song there, was actually the opening song of a show I wrote, produced and directed called The Wise Guys, that we tour to Scotland, etc. These guys, Chris, Alan Walker and Eddie Dobie, took the show to the next level, right? And I really mean it now. If you bought the programme, I made sure in the back page there's a link if you want to see the whole Wise Guys show. There's a link there, it's on YouTube. By the way, have you all got a programme? And that was the start of my friendship with Chris. And in fact, he went on, as Ed had said, to start on another show I was commissioned to write, produce and direct for the Model City called McClure and Divines. Now, I'm going to tell you the anecdote of how Chris became a wise guy. Right? And also, in this anecdote, it'll tell you something I found out about Chris, about what's behind the man, right? The icon. And it was about 2005, I got a phone call. See, I used to be a singer, and I'm emphasising used to be, just in case you think I'm going to sing Sit Down. Right, and back in the days, I used to sing places like the Parade Cabaret Restaurant in Denniston and Hamilton Palace. I was a resident there. And I went on a cruise ship to come home, and I was a big fan of Scottish music hall variety theatre. And I came home and I got this phone call. Can you come and sing at a charity do in Angels in Livingston this Sunday for women's breast cancer? The special guest speaker is Elaine T. Smith. I went, oh, yes, I'll certainly come along. Oh, just to let you know, you'll be singing with Christian. Wow, a hero. And there I was, going to do a show with Chris. Arrived there. If you remember the old Angels in Livingston, there was the pub bit, the bar, then you go through the door and they had tables and the kind of, well, it wasn't really a stage, up the top end. Anyway, Chris and I sat in there at the alcove where the window was, and he started asking me what I was doing, etc. And I said, I'm writing a show because I'm a big fan of Scottish Music Hall Variety Theatre, and I think we're missing characters from that genre since the days of Francine Joseph, etc. And he said, tell me about it, and I told him. Anyway, he then turned and said, listen, there are going to be speeches. Obviously, Elaine's going to speak, and all that, there'll be a wee break before it. See after the wee break before when they're doing the speeches, can you bring them up, and can you hold the fort for about 30 minutes after that? I need to go. And I just, obviously, it's Christian. I went, yeah, okay. So, the speeches went, and I held the fort, and I held the fort, and I held the fort, and I held the fort. Now, back then, I didn't have a big repertoire. I had one song left, and I was sweating. And my song was, some people in here will last sing a lot of Neil Diamond songs, was Sweet Caroline. And I started it, and I really was petrified. And I started it, verse, chorus. Then, the second verse, I heard a voice singing. It was Chris. And then he came in through the door, walked right up, stood beside me, both of us sung the chorus, and then the ending, etc., etc. Oh, huge round of, do you think we had rehearsed it? Really, honestly. And so, show finished great. Went through to the pub area to talk about how it went, etc. And I said, Chris, can I ask you 2 questions? And he said, yeah, go ahead. I said, listen, see the show I'm writing, The Wise Guys? I've got 2 on board. I've got Alan Walker and Eddie Lowe. I said, would you like to be a 3rd wise guy? And he looked at me and said, I thought you would never ask. And that was it. Now, the second question, where did you go? Where did you bugger off to? You know, half sweat, he went, he said, I'll be honest with you, and this sums Chris up, right? He said, there's an old folks' home in the area, and they found out I'd be hearing nothing from the Angels, and they asked me to come and sing 2 songs. That's, you know, what Chris was like, so that's where he was. Singing 2 songs on old folk home. Now, if any of you know all the story, if experienced things like this, Chris was well known for being fantastic with his fans. He would do anything for them. In fact, he very rarely said no. And he was known for going to, being invited to people's houses, just for some fan's birthday or whatever, or their mum's birthday, or to sing 2 songs. But to some of you out there that this has happened to, right? Give us a cheer if that's happened to you. He's came, he's had 2 songs, 2 hours later, he is still there, singing and performing for free. So there we go, that's my anecdote. So I would like to just end, personally, me, Chris, to me, you're an icon. You were a pleasure to work with, but most of all, you were a gentleman. Thank you.
Like the wall, paper sticks to the wall. Like the seashore clings to the sea. Like you never get rid of your shadow. You never get rid of me. Let all the others fight and fuss. Whatever happens, we got us. Lose the bridges, the time I shall we stick together like glue. And when it's sleeping time, we start to swing. I'm in swing. Hot lights don't shine. The bell ring. I didn't happy New Year. And to be what I said.
I think it's alright that we do it again because we're going here, so we may as well.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the wise guys. Alan Walker and Eddie Dobie. That must have been hard for them. I think Eddie came up with a wee tear in his eye because obviously one thing was missing and that was Chris. So give them a big round of applause for doing that. Because the last time I did it was with Christian. Thank you, gentlemen. I told you it was going to be emotional, but Colin did say the programmes were on sale. If you've bought a programme, thank you. They're £3. I think they cost $2.50 to get made, right? Enough to say they're quality. It's quality. The money that we make on the programmes are going to a cause close to Chris's heart. It's the Motherwell District Wildlife Protection. Ned will be getting hoodies and caps and stuff like that. I'm kidding on, is there anything, Motherwell? Because I might need protection after saying that. And your ticket money, by the way, because everybody here tonight is all getting their time for free, their talent for free, because they love Chris. So the ticket money that you have given out tonight, thank you again, is going to breast, heart and choke. No, it's not right. Chest, heart and stroke. Nobody's getting choked. I think a stroke's better than a choke, not that I know. But it's going to breast, heart and stroke Scotland. So that's where your money's going, so thank you very much. Thank you for the research, for the choking. So what's up next? I hear you ask. We've got another speaker. This gentleman is one of Scotland's only comedy vocalists, a friend of Chris's again, and a very talented man, and he's here tonight wanting to share some stories about Chris. So please put your hands together for Robbie Karen. Give him a cheer.
Good evening. How you doing? I've been watching the show from behind the stage, and I don't think you're mixing as well as an audience as we would like. So do me a wee favour, turn to the person to your left and just say, "Good evening, China, how are you?" Now turn to your right and say, "Away, mind your own business." I can't believe we're here at Hamilton Townhouse. Isn't this lovely? Hey. When I was 18, my first love affair was with a young girl. She was 19, I was 18. She came from Burnbank. Who's here from Burnbank? Well, this is electricity, right? I came through in the bus to see her, and she took me back to her house, and she showed me her television, her cooker, her fridge, her settee. Then she took me into the house. Well, first other night of passion, I was trying to pretend I knew what I was doing. I said, "Do you know how to treat a man?" She said, "So I should, you used to be one." Now, it's a pleasure to be here to do this, to be part of this tribute to one of Scotland's greatest ever entertainers, Mr. Chris McClure. And I first met Chris back about 30 years ago. I was doing discos at the time. And I'll tell you how long ago it was. We didn't have CDs. We had singles. 45s and LPs. I was at Carryville Golf Club in Edinburgh. He was a star, I was just a young boy 30 years ago. And it was doing the disco. And even though I was just a wee DJ, Chris came right into the room, and the first thing he did was to talk to me about Outback Road. And it was absolutely immense. I ended up doing half an hour of disco, that was it. He worked all night. He was like a wee Duracell rabbit. You wound him up and away you went. I remember back in 2009, I asked him to do a charity show for me at the Shire Grange Hotel in Grangemouth, Pullman, whatever you want to call it. Now, for those of you that don't know, the Shire is a very, very upmarket hotel. I took my wife Crabapple there for our anniversary. We were 30 years married last year. And I can still remember asking the big question, "You're no, are you?" And we went to this place, and the missus will tell you, "Oh, hello girls, how you doing? Look at this front row here, it's like self-location a night out, how you doing?" Alright. When I see a woman like you, I wish I was 10 years older, so it is. And I said, "Listen, it's a 30th anniversary, I thought I'll push the boat out." And I did, but I had oars and she got back. And We went for this night in this posh hotel. Oh, it was marvellous. £350 for dinner, bed and breakfast, plus another £100 for 2 bottles of wine. Now ladies, this is how romantic am I, right? Imagine that's the door to the hotel room, this is the lobby. I leaned against the door like that. I said, "Hey, honey." She's like, "What is it, babe?" She's called me babe since she saw the film. "What is it, babe?" I said, "I could live in your eyes." Do you see that, Ken? There's a sty in one of them. We got into the hotel room and I said, "Now listen, sweetheart." I said, "We've got the ultimate platinum package." I said, "We have the adult channel on the telly. Why don't we watch a wee bit and see what happens?" She went, "Aye, all right, fine." So I'm watching this silent black and white film about a fat couple naked on a bed. Then I realised we hadn't turned the telly on. That night at the Enshire, it was a Thursday night. I remember it was a Thursday night and they had a big thing on the Friday. And this mate would be a really posh guy with a bow tie and he went, "Now listen, you're getting the place for free tonight." He said, "But do not move or alter the stage." The stage was one of these portable stages and they put a wee helmet on it. Very nice. However, the bold Christian said to me before they started, he went, "Right, I'm going to just do 45 minutes. That's me. Do 45 minutes, that's all I can do." An hour and a half later, he was still on. And he decided for his second last song that he would get this big pile of fabric that was lying at the side of the stage and wrap it around himself and he looked like the king. As he walked along the stage, what he didn't know, that was attached to the helmet around the stage. And as you see, he was walking, it was pop, 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 popping off. This guy's getting on to me. Wasn't it fair? And then we met Chris at so many different things. His charity work was second to none. You didn't have to tell how much it was or what it was for. Aye, I'll be there. Unfortunately for me, he turned up one afternoon in Lack Hall. We were at St Tam's Masonic in Lack Hall. Well, it was July, they got us because they couldn't get a band. I used to do a wee thing in my show. It was the song "Please Stay," but it was the director. "Please stay, don't go." I used to say, "Ladies and Christian," but dance a bit like this. You see, what I didn't know was that he came in and was standing right behind me. And I've got one of the dirtiest wee looks that I've ever had in my life, followed by that big, great smile that he always had. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's what being a great entertainer is all about. It's about being remembered. And I'm sure tonight we'll all remember Chris McClure. Scotland and the world lost an entertainer. Some people lost their father. Some people lost their soulmate. Some of us lost our brother. Ladies and gentlemen, all I say tonight is that I'm finished yet. I'm putting that one in. Oh, I can't. You see, I'd all overcome emotion because my wee dad was 90 and he passed away in June. And I blame my wife for it because she bought my skateboard for his Christmas. And he just went downhill quick after that, you know. I got you there, eh? But ladies and gentlemen, they say that to laugh with a man is happiness, to cry for him is love. So for those of us who have cried a wee bit over the past few months, let's pay Chris the greatest tribute that we can, and have one right good night this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, enjoy yourself. Thanks very much, and we'll see you probably in the concourse. Thank you.
Hi, it's Alan Stewart here. I just wanted to say how sad it was to hear the passing of Christian, or Chris McClure, as I remember him back in the days of the Airdrie Town Hall when I used to go to watch him as a kid, and I used to stand and gaze up at that stage and think, wow, what an entertainer he is. One day, maybe I'll be able to hold an audience like he can. And he went on to do many, many television shows and live shows, and I got to work with him a couple of times. I also did a television show for STV where he was a guest on the show, and I introduced him, and we had a bit of patter, and then he went out to sing one of the songs that we remember him for. I'm sorry I can't be there tonight at the show because I'm down in London at the moment appearing in a show, and I just can't get up to Scotland. But I want to wish everybody all the best of luck, and it's wonderful that all these artists have come together to pay their respects to such a wonderful entertainer as Christian. Bye.
Alan Stewart, ladies and gentlemen, give him a cheer. All the way from London. So, what about Bobby Karen? Brilliant. Had his greeting and then had his laughing. That's a skill, isn't it? Amazing. And so up next, we've got some music for you. Now this performer, yes, you glad you want a wee boogie? This performer has worked with Chris throughout the years, and but she's mostly known for her dance music. She's a rave dance girl, but she's put her glow sticks down tonight. No Eki tablets have been taken tonight. No painting the ceiling or pushing the trolley. Heating the ball, nothing like that. She, like the rest of us, has decided, she's not decided, she was told to sing songs that Chris loved to sing. She looks stunning, she's gorgeous. Please put your hands together for the phenomenal Roberta Childs. Give her a cheer!
Hello and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I would love to see you on your feet for a little dance. This is Malcolm Wood. How you feeling?
I
you very much. Hello, good evening. We can do better. Good evening. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. It is just so amazing to be here. This is such a different experience for me. It's such an honour to be here tonight. I did a few road shows with Christian, and I remember one particular one. I think it was up north or something. But anyway, he was on first. And I remember watching this man, and he was doing all these dance moves and everything. I thought, gosh, the energy in this, the charisma in this entertainment was just astounding. And it really left a mark with me. And I met him a couple of times after that as well. And off stage, it was always for me the kindness in the eyes. It was just such kindness, and he was just a good human being, let alone the best performer ever. If I can ever be as half a great performer like that, I'll be laughing, absolutely laughing. So I'm going to do a song for you that Christian was well known for singing, and it's called Higher and Higher.
Came across Christian when I was at Radio Clyde. I hadn't long started there. Nobody knew me from Adam. And yet he came over in the canteen one day and introduced himself to me. And I thought, wow, this is Christian. Why on earth is he introducing himself to me? There's nothing in it for him. But that was the kind of guy he was. wind forward, I start doing stuff on telly, and I bump into him at STV all the time. We always had a laugh, a cup of tea, and a blether. And then when I was lucky enough to get my own chat show, he was one of the first people I wanted on the series. And that's when he blew my mind. He came on, and I just thought that I'd ask Christian to come on my show because he would sing a song. What I didn't know was what a great entertainer he was, an all-round entertainer, singing, dancing, telling gags. He epitomised that great old Scottish showbiz tradition. It was all wrapped up in him. He was so multi-talented, and that's how I will remember him. Every time we bumped into each other since then, we always had such a laugh, and I must confess, in recent years, we'd lost touch. But I have such fond memories of this wonderful entertainer. Chris, wherever you are, rest in peace.
Paul Coyle, ladies and gentlemen, give him a big cheer. Please welcome to the stage a friend of Christian's and an agent, Kenny Payton. Give him a cheer.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's a pleasure and a privilege to be asked to speak here tonight to honour such a gentleman. I first met Chris back in the late 80s when I was a partner at GKC Music along with a gentleman called Brian Black, and we supplied Chris with all these bookings throughout the years to come. And one of the tasks that I had to do was phone the management at the Pavilion in Glasgow and negotiate the terms and conditions of Christian doing the show. Now, I don't know if you know the management at the Pavilion, but it was never easy to deal with him, especially when you were asking for more money than Chris had got the previous year. And after a couple of rounds with him, we managed to get an increase, which Chris was really delighted with. But one of the stipulations that we had was that it had to be off stage and out of there at 10 o'clock. Because back in the late 80s, early 90s, it was a different music scene. There was clubs with the thousands everywhere, and Chris was probably the most popular act. So he didn't mind doing the Pavilion for less money than he could earn elsewhere, because he had the opportunity to go on and double, go somewhere different, earn a lot of money, and that was Chris. He loved working in the pantomime in the Pavilion. That's what he enjoyed himself, because it was the ultimate entertainer, singing, dancing, performing. And it was a pleasure at that time. One of the times, my wife's a singer, comedian, Lorraine Summers, we decided, she had a booking to go in Benidorm. And it so happened the week she was doing it in Benidorm, Christian was on as well. So we met up quite a few nights, and Chris then decided, he says, Kenny, Lorraine, do you want to come with me? I'm going to see a magic act. And I says, we'll go and see your magic act, Chris. So we sat at the front of this kind of bar, and it so happened the lady in question was called Sticky Vicky. She decided at that point in time to produce this string of razor blades. And then she then proceeded to Chris was at the front, and she handed the razor blades to Chris. She then got this sheet of paper and then held it in front of him and says, will you slice that in two? Well, needless to say, Chris' eyes were everywhere. And he nearly cut a finger off when he was put. But what a time, the times and the occasions. I could stand here all night and talk about Christian, and there's a lot of stories I can't tell these. But some of the ones, one of them were over in Isla. Back in the late 80s, it's politically incorrect to use the adjective now, but it was the Scottish Stars for Spastics. and Christian was a great supporter. He used to do any charity work that we would want, and it was called the Bowmore Classic, and it was held over Nyla. And Chris, honestly, he's like myself, he wasn't that good a golfer, and the first shot he had to drive down, he hurt it about 25 yards into the trees. He then proceeded to go and look for the ball. And all you could hear was him screaming and jumping back. And honestly, you'd have thought something had been attacked with a python, but it was this 12-inch adder that had jumped out and then proceeded to hurt that a few times, I tell you. But that evening, Chris was presenting the winner of the golf tournament with us a bottle of this 35-year-old Bowmore whiskey. So, in this beautiful box, and as Chris took it up to the boy, and the boy opened it up, there was that wee snake in it. He'd changed the bottle of whiskey, he had that in his bag. But he was certainly a character. Right? I think one of the things is there's some fantastic entertainers on this evening. I could stand here and tell you all the superlatives, and I think everybody's covered it. He was a man that everybody loved, admired, and we all think about him every time. We turned up last year, my wife retired, and we retired 4 years ago, but we went last year, it was Musselburgh, in the Masonic Club in Musselburgh, and here, we didn't know it was a friend of our 60th birthday, but he booked Christian, and Chris was on, and we shared a lot of fantastic memories over the years, and we reminisced there. And it was a pleasure to see him, and I'm not going to hold it up any longer. There's some fantastic singers, entertainers. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you.
Kenny, thank you. Oh, you're underdressed, I'm mortified for you. Round of applause for Kenny Payton, give him a cheer. He's an agent, but I think he could make more money going out there as a tribute act to a very famous country and western singer. We could call you Kenny Rogers. I'm going to get cancelled. So, speaking of magicians, our next act was supposed to be a magician, but unfortunately he cancelled on us. But I'm quite glad, because the last time I worked with a magician, I disappeared with a poof. I've not been right since. I've not walked right since. Not like that, everywhere I go. It's terrible. Luckily, our next act doesn't make you disappear. She'll make you want more. She is a bit of a diva. I mean, what about Roberta? She was stunning, wasn't she? Diva, right? Yes. Well, give her a clap if you want. She'll love that. Well, our next act, she takes the biscuit, right? In fact, she takes one of the biscuit because, you know, none of us asked for anything, but she went, she's a rider. She asked for freshly squeezed breast milk for her tea, and she said no, just to get her direct eye contact. So I was loving her, only joking. But her rider was this, and I'm not lying about this. She wanted a fridge and a kettle. I just thought, we all want that, but I think she likes to have a pot noodle before she goes on, and she likes her HRT patches nice and cold before she slaps them on, so they're in the fridge. She's not a diva unless she's standing here singing. She's phenomenal and she's a beautiful woman. Please give her all your love. It's Tina Millen. Give her a cheer.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Robert. We're here to have some fun, are we? Is that it? Yes. That's it. Okay. Here we go, guys. Here we go. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Are we all enjoying ourselves? Do we want to let our faces know then? Yes. Come on, we're here to have some fun. But this song, I have to say, is a fabulous song. And at the moment that I actually heard this song, I knew that I wanted to learn this and put it in some kind of my repertoire. So I'm going to do this lovely song called The Hungry Years. Because if you want to, if you're able to stand up and party, then please do, because we're going to have so much fun doing this song. This is a song called Reach Out, I'll Be There. Thank you very much. Thank you. you very much. Thank you. Well, this is me finished for the evening, I think. So where's the host?
I'm here, I was waiting for you.
Oh, come on.
Oh, look at this, you look good. I've never seen that earlier on. How's your fridge?
I never got one.
That's, well, I've got two, sorry. I'll give you one of my chatty patches, right?
Thank you.
Ladies, gentlemen, beautiful people, please give it up for the phenomenal Trina Millen. Give it a cheer. And the band. You look beautiful. Thank you. Our band and our backing singers. These singers are putting in a double shift because they're also your lead vocalists tonight. They asked me to be a backing singer, but I kind of do as and O's. I'm dyslexic. You would get E-I-E-I-O off me. So we're nearly, well, at the end of our first act. Are you sad? Well, don't worry, because we've got a fabulous Act 2 planned for you. This next act, I'm so excited to have him here. He's a pal of mine, which is always good. But when people say that on stage, like a very close personal friend of mine. But he supports Susan Boyle. He goes to America with her. He was an American's Got Talent with her. He heads up Soul Nation, and he travels the world with the Red Hot Chili Peppers as a vocalist. They're not here. Right, calm down. This year, I was so jealous when I saw him singing on the Glastonbury stage. So this vocalist, who I know you really love, when he heard this night was happening, he phoned Dan Wilson and he said, "Anne, please, can you let me be part of it?" So we're very, very chuffed that he's took time out of his busy worldwide schedule to come here and sing for us. He classes Christian as one of his idols. So please give him a big round of applause. It's Chris Judge.
Hi everyone. Hey guys. I remember watching Chris sing this song in the King's Theatre when I was working, watching my mum and dad perform with Alan Stewart, Andy Cameron for a big charity event, and I watched Chris singing this song and everybody sang along with him. See if we can do that tonight. If I got on my knees and I pleaded not to go, but to stay in my arms, would you walk out the door like you did?
beautiful Chris Judge, ladies and gentlemen, give him a cheer. Thank you, Chris. Now, ladies, gentlemen, beautiful people, please enjoy your interval, go to the bar, or stay seated and watch some of the memories from Chris McClure on the screen. Thank you. See you shortly.
Christian, give him a big hand. Yay! Come on. Party time. Woo! Oh, sugar pie, honey bunch. You know that I love you. I can't help myself. I love you and nobody else. In and out of my life. You come and you go. Leaving just your picture behind. And I've kissed it 1,000 times. I'll be there with a love that will comfort you. I'll be there with a love that will see you through. Now if you feel lost and about to give up because your best just ain't good enough, and you feel the world has gone cold, and you're drifting out on your own, and you need a hand to hold, darling. Come on, girl, reach out for me, reach out for me, just look over your shoulder. I'll be there with a love that will comfort you. I'll be there with a love that will see you through. Now let's go!
Christian, the artist formerly known as Chris McClure, is one of Scotland's great showbiz survivor stories. For 60 years, the Ibrox-born singer has entertained audiences from village halls to the Royal Albert Hall. It all began at the age of 19, when Chris joined the Fireflies and became their front man. Chris McClure and the Fireflies were a popular 60s Glasgow-based group who became known for their tight sound and vocal harmonies, specializing in Tamla Motown and soul music. They played throughout Scotland, but were the resident band at the Flamingo and also the Picasso Club in Buchanan Street, Glasgow. And thanks to their fabulous live performances, their singles on the Polydor label including The Answer to Everything and I'm Just a Country Boy, both proved massively popular north of the border. When the group featured in the STV pop program called Stramash, 1971, they changed their name to the Chris McClure Section. The band continued to enjoy popularity in Scotland, but as disco became popular, live bands were less in demand. This marked the start of Chris's solo career. He changed his stage name to Christian and played virtually every venue in Scotland, including a number of 1960s and 70s revival shows at some of Scotland's most renowned theatres. Chris's mum, Leonora, who was a dancer and was one of the Morganettes at the Pavilion Theatre, had Chris at the age of 18. Chris never knew much about his father, an American entertainer called Chris Gill, who would come over here and play the lead in shows like Bye Bye Birdie. Leonora would go on to have a pivotal role in young Chris's life as she taught the young Chris how to dance, something he would take into his act and separate him from other performers at the time and make him the performer we all know and love today. Another talent and love for the young Chris was football, where he played for his Bella Houston school team and his local boys' brigade as a goalkeeper. Although supporting Glasgow Rangers as a boy, Chris would go on to be invited into the board of directors at Motherwell FC, a position he was very proud of. Chris used to laugh at how ironic it was that one of his first gigs he played with the Fireflies was in a pub called The Black Man. Here he would earn £2 a night doing covers of The Drifters and Buddy Holly, with the odd impersonations of people like Johnny Mathis. During this period, and in order to survive the small fees paid to bands, Chris worked as a clerk at the William Brock Flour Mill in York Street, sometimes helping load the vans when work in the office was quiet. Even though Chris was considered non-white by most people, he has gladly stated that racism was never a problem in his life, because he was surrounded by too many people willing to protect him if any such event would occur. Around this time, Chris did the famous television show Opportunity Knocks, which was run and hosted by Huey Green. Chris stated that Huey was quite brutal with some of the acts, and indeed he wouldn't let Chris sing an up-tempo song which would have benefited his multi-talented vocal and dancing skills. The result, Chris came second. In 1975, Chris toured the country with his good friend Billy Connolly, which ended with them both doing the London Palladium together. This tour, combined with the release of his debut album as Christian called The First Christian by Polydor in 1976, meant that he became a well-known and liked household name. Another memorable moment for Chris was when he also appeared on the same bill as the Jacksons and Dolly Parton at the Queen's Jubilee show at the King's Theatre in 1978, which he states here in a radio interview with his friend Colin McGregor.
Tell us about what's been the highlight of your career?
Well, I've had many highlights, Colin. Obviously, one of the biggest was doing the Scottish Royal Variety performance in the King's Theatre in Glasgow before Her Majesty the Queen for her 25th anniversary, becoming Queen. And on that particular show, we had the Jackson 5, would you believe, with Michael.
With Michael?
With Michael, yep. I actually met them, and he was just a quiet wee boy. He just sat down. The rest of them did all the talking, and Michael just sat down. And then when he went onto stage, it changed. Wallop, and there he was, and you went, oh, come on. We all sat in the stalls and watched them rehearsing, and we were completely blown away.
Yeah.
At that time, there were no radio mics. It was trail mics he was using. And he was doing all these spins. And he never ever get caught up in his mic. And we thought, wait a minute, how could this guy do this? He was just unbelievable.
And who else was on the bill?
Dolly Parton. Oh, Dolly Parton, she was really tiny.
Yeah.
Talk to her, it was great.
In what way tiny? Height-wise, obviously.
Height-wise, oh come on, yes. As high as she was broad. Oh, she was lovely.
Christian has released 4 singles and 6 albums, starred in an amazing 22 pantomimes, and has even been the support act to his all-time favourite group, The Drifters, in the Apollo Glasgow in 1976. In fact, he was the last act ever to perform at the world-famous Glasgow Apollo in 1978. Having already been a hit on a BBC TV show in the late 60s, Chris's next TV performance was in the 70s, when STV did a one-off special around Chris, which then went on to run for 8 weeks, full of music, dancing, and even comic sketches, solidifying his status as a bona fide all-round entertainer. The 80s brought a huge change in the music scene, so Christian moved into the social clubs. It was then that his uncle Bruce McClure, the famous choreographer, talked him into appearing in panto. During the run of Chris's first panto, Sinbad, he got a chance to appear with the Osmonds at the Albert Hall in 1979. Although this was something of another pinnacle in his career, Chris spent much of the rest of the subsequent decades in the social clubs and theatres of the west of Scotland, starring in shows like Please Stay and Jukebox Memories at the Pavilion, followed much later in the early 2000s in shows at the Motherwell Civic Theatre called The Wise Guys and Mistletoe and The Divines. To the joy of his older fans who remembered the early days, the original lineup of the Chris McClure section reformed briefly in 2006. This reunion lasted until 2012, when Chris returned to his now well-recognized stage name of Christian. Here is a little something not everyone will know. Frank Lynch, Chris's manager at the time, suggested that he entertain the fans at a Celtic Rangers Skull Cup final at Hampton in 1986 by running a race against the Powder Hall champion Roy Heron. Chris was given a 13-yard start, and incredibly, Chris won the race by inches. Chris was a man of great humility. One day he could be headlining a full production in front of 1,500 people. The next day, he would be performing at a local care home. That was Christian, always there for the fans and ready to entertain with a smile. Whether you called him Chris or Christian, he'll always be known as a true Scottish showbiz legend and gentleman, gone but never forgotten. What you have just watched and listened to is just a short, condensed timeline of Chris's career, taken from various sources where some dates, etc. may vary, and to which so much more could be added. Let me now leave you with a fantastic anecdote from the great man himself, regarding his first ever single release. Ladies and gentlemen, enjoy.
Right. So we used to do the show, and it used to go out at 6:30 on a Monday night, live. We didn't have video recorders back then. Today have it live. So if you made a mistake, tough luck, out it went. Now, we were scheduled to do 13 programs, one a week. And we'd done, I think it was about 6. And it was a Monday afternoon. I can always remember this very, very well. We're down on the studio floor rehearsing for the evening show, right? Now, everything had stopped. There was a wee lull, and they were changing cameras and all this kind of stuff. And the director's in his box away up in the gallery somewhere. You couldn't see, it was on darkness. All of a sudden, I hear this voice shouting, "Chris, come up here. Telephone call from London." Now, see, back then, I didn't know anybody for London. So I'm up there like a shot. Now, I have another request. See, when I tell you who was on the phone, going to no laugh. Because I didn't know anything about this. The name belonged to none other than Jonathan King. No! Wait, hang on. Innocent till proved guilty. See, back then, Jonathan was still in the closet and somebody else had a key in their pocket. And I'd just like to let all you nice Muirkirk people know that I'm not like that. That's my boyfriend. And I did not know how to talk to folk. I was an idiot. I picks up the phone and goes, "Aye, what is it?" He says, "Well, I've been watching the TV. I like your voice. I've got a song I'd like you to record." I went, "You beauty." He says, "So what I'm going to do is send you up the words and music. When you finish your TV shows, come down to London, we'll book a studio." And this is what did it. We will have a 40-piece orchestra. Oh. The wee boy from the Ibrox has died and gone to heaven. Oh. So then, still no one meant to shut up and just let him go on with it. I says, "Brilliant. What's the song all about?" And he replied, "It's Swan Lake." And I've got my hand over the mic. That's what I said. "Oh no." He goes, No. Don't worry. This is the most recognisable piece of music from Swan Lake. Everybody and their granny could sing this, whistle it, or hum it. I've written words especially for it. I think your voice would be really suited to it. So, ladies and gentlemen, here and now before your very eyes is a tiny swatch of my first single called The Dying. That's another lovely word, isn't it? 1, 2, 3, swatch. 1, 2, 3. My first single, The Dying Swan. Don't laugh. Wait till I finish, then you can laugh. This is Culture. Josie, Culture. Oh, I certainly did, Francie. The Dying Swan. In some deserted bed of leaves, there lies a swan about to die. And in her dream she can see herself alive and shining brilliant in the sky. She glides and turns on the icy lake, while the silver moon whitens on the melting snow. She dreams about the cool wind that blew and the smell of pine trees that drifted down to the sapphire lake below. That's it. The story's not finished. See, 4 months before they released a single. I don't believe I did this. I went into the record company doing in London, Polydor as it was called then. I says, "Guys, I'm thrilled about the single. First single, who wouldn't be over the moon? I certainly am. But there's only one wee problem. I don't like the title. I want to change it." And you could see this sort of horrified looks in their faces. They went, "Change it? To what?" And I replied, "The D Duck." As I said before, I might be daft, but I'm not stupid. This wasn't going to sell a light, nothing out the window. How many did it sell? Get this. 750. Oh! And folks, I've got 740 in my garage at home. Thank you.
Hello, ladies, gentlemen, welcome back to Act 2. I slipped into something more comfortable. I would like to sing a song for you, with kicking off. But I couldn't help but notice you were, all through Act 1, you were looking at my pianist. My pianist. So only right that I introduced you to the band tonight. We can have to get it for Dan over here. For Malky on drums. David on keys, not Gina's. And Barry on the other guitar. I thought it was bass and was normal, so yes, when I was asked to sing this, I had never heard of it, but I've fallen in love with it because it's one of Chris's favourites, so I'm hoping I do it justice. Thank you. The night was clear and the moon was yellow and the leaves came tumbling down. Christian on Top of the Pops with the Scotland team. Fabulous. Now, we're lucky enough tonight to have one of the players who were on that very night, Top of the Pops, here tonight. He plays for Partick Thistle, Hibernian, Celtic, uncontroversial. He's going to sing You'll Never Walk Alone and all that's going to be down like a ton of bricks. I'm kidding on. He's got 53 caps for Scotland. I'm saying this, I googled him today, so that's the information I got from Wikipedia. It could all be a load of rubbish, so let's find out if it's true or not. Please welcome to the stage the brilliant Alan Ruff. Give him a cheer. Oh, they like you. Alan Ruffy, they call him Ruffy, I wonder why. So, thank you for coming in tonight. You are brilliant. I love you. I've met you many times before, and I'm so glad you came here tonight to talk about Christian. You are a goalkeeper.
Correct.
Yes, correct. It's not a quiz, he's winning money. We saw earlier on that Christian was also a goalkeeper.
He certainly was. The first day that I met him, obviously, was at the recording of that song. And he came into the recording studio. We were all there. There was Graham Souness, Kenny Dalglish, Gordon Strachan, all the big fans. And
have you got a brush and shovel for these names he's just dropped everywhere?
And when Chris came in, you could obviously tell he was in awe of all these big stars. And he came up to me and he said, Alan, he says, did you know I used to be a goalkeeper? And I said, yeah, I'd heard that. He says, I'm a fan of all great goalkeepers. He said, could you introduce me to Andy Gorham?
Is that true?
It's true, yeah. But he obviously early on knew that none of us could sing. But you know what like he is, he just took over the whole thing, all the recordings, all the in between the recordings, he would give us a song and he would sing. And I think halfway through the day he was realising that some people weren't as good as singers as the other. And he went up to me, Gordon Strachan, and he says, Gordon, could you just move to the front and go to the back? And Gordon says, but you'll not see me if I go to the back. He went, that's the idea, Gordon.
And with his chat, he'd get away with it, wouldn't he?
Yeah, he certainly was. But I mean, as all the guys were saying, entertainer. So the day he walked into, he left us that night. And I remember one song, I don't know if any of the guys are saying, in between a break, he did Mr. Bojangles. And I mean, I've heard Sammy Davis Jr. singing that song, and I heard Chris singing it, and Chris was way above Sammy Davis Jr. Fantastic, great. But as you've seen there, we actually moved on to the Top of the Pops, and that was an occasion as well, because when we get down there, Chris said, Jock Stein was the manager. And Jock wasn't there at the recording, so Chris came up to the boys and he said, look guys, you suddenly get a manager, can I be your manager for the day? And we said great, but it turned out a wee bit pear-shaped, as you can see from this photograph, because as Andy will tell you when you come on, and anybody who's been at the BBC, you do the song and then you record it, and then you practice, say, at 1 o'clock, and then you practice again at 3 o'clock. But unfortunately for Christian, he didn't know that in between the breaks, the BBC have got a bar. And when you allow 20 footballers in a bar, it's going to go pear-shaped. So after the first recording, we went into the bar, and after the next recording, we went into the bar, and after the third one, I remember a producer at the Top of the Pop said, who's in charge of this mob? And Christian said, oh, it's me. And he says, well, you better get them out there and get them sobered up. So to finish the story is, Christian decided, I don't know how, they would all wear tartan jackets and tartan hats and everything to go with it. I'm no joking, the lotties were absolutely steaming. And if you get a chance to see this, John Robertson, who's at the front and hands the ball to B.A. Robertson, he hasn't a frigging clue where he is. I'm saying, if you get a chance to see it, and if you see this, if you see the swaying, there's nobody going in the right direction. It's just, and obviously easier to kill. He knew it was happening, but no. If I was to, I make this quite a lot of times, and to sum him up, enthusiasm, thorough professional. And he said to me in the beginning, Alan, I want to be a goalkeeper. I'm sure if Chris wanted to turn anything, he could have been Scotland's number one. Thanks very much. Thank you.
Alan, ladies and gentlemen, Ruffy. Come on, I'll keep you off, Alan. Give him a cheer.
Thank you. Well done, mate. Have a good night. Have a good night.
I wish I could remember the words. I'm 83, I can't remember my name. I'll move this in case you can't see me. So, it's great to be here to pay a tribute to one of the most professional performers I ever worked with. Absolutely incredible. That, I couldn't believe that when I saw that. That's the first time I've been on a stage with him and he stood still. Every time he was on it, so fucking good. Yes, yes. Oh yes, hi, okay, Andy. Yes, yes, yes. What a man. We played football. We're about the same age, right? And he trained with Motherwell and all that, and we played with a show business thing at the Clyde's pitch. I'm not joking, I was knackered tying my laces, right? He was running about for an hour and a half, you would never have known. Really, really, I loved him to bits, a lovely, lovely man. We did pantomimes, we did one in Dubai actually. Alibaba and the 4 guys, no, it was Alibaba and 40 guys with one horn. Anyway, seriously, we used to come out the pavilion after the panto, and there would be maybe 20, 30 young lasses, darlings, oh darlings, right? Oh Chris, can I touch you? Oh Chris. And I'm going, where's your granny head? I said, point me out to your granny, you know. Oh, he was some man to work with. It's a joy to be here, actually, just to sort of pay a bit. He played for Motherwell, he trained with Motherwell, but it's just, I'm just so happy to be here, you know. Fuck at my age, I'm so happy to be anywhere. I'm not kidding you. Oh. 83 years of age. I'm at the toilet 4 times every night. And if I'm lucky, I get up twice. Aye. She got me a present for my birthday. Viagra. It's like buying a new flagpole for a derelict building, isn't it? Carry me upstairs and make love to me, she says. I said, I couldn't even manage one of them. Sex, 83, so playing snooker with a rope. Murder. I'm not kidding. Murder. So, mind you, he doesn't have any bother with it, I'll tell you that for now. He was I mean, and that's see when it's somebody from Scotland, you know, you're so proud, aren't you? Even if you don't, it's incredible. I did a burnt supper about 15 years ago, something, down in Kendal in Cumbria, and this English chap came up to me, and he went, "Hello, that was wonderful. What a wonderful show. I thoroughly enjoyed it." I said, "That's very nice of you, thank you." He said, "You're Scottish?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "I was born in London." He said, "Why?" I said, "I thought I'd like to be near my mammy at the time, like, you know." Fucking. He says, "Scotland, he says, I don't know much about Scotland." I says, "Well, but we like the English." I says, "We know you don't like us." I said, "But the reason for that is because we used to cross the border, right, and steal your sheep." I said, "But what you didn't understand was we crossed the border to steal your women, had a look at them and took your sheep." So, well, that's sexist, isn't it? Sexist. Aye. No, that's sexist. This is the greatest country in the world. Do you have a look at the guy, Sir Alexander Fleming, who discovered penicillin, without which some of us wouldn't be here. You know what I mean? It was a big discovery for medicine. Alexander Graham Bell, who actually invented the telephone, which is now this. Right? I can't believe this. It's 6 inches long. No. I'm back to her and I now. So listen, seriously. I can press 3 buttons in this and speak to my granddaughter in Dubai, you know, which is amazing because she lives in fucking Newton Merlins. But anyway, seriously. But that's a great invention. Great football players, Big Ruffy, Kenny Dalglish, and all these guys, wee Jimmy Johnson, and it's fantastic. But sometimes we get it wrong. Look at this Scottish water. Have you ever read the wee? It's in Gaelic. You'll not be able to read it. I'll read it out to you. So, this water started life 70 million years ago before slowly seeping through the Grampian Hills of Scotland and forming an underground loch to where it lay dormant for another 50 million years before slowly seeping through the hills of Perthshire to where we now source it for you. Best before March 2028. You wouldn't. Oh. No, I'm not coming off. So, Chris had a fantastic career. I mean, right up to the end, he had a fantastic career. He was gigging apparently 2 nights before he passed. And I mean, his energy, Jesus, I mean, there's countries that will use less energy than him. He's absolutely incredible, you know. And it's just, you've just got to keep going, you know. It's when you're at the top, and he was at the top. I tried a lot of things, you know. In the Alice Tartan Army thing, I went to top of the pops, Jesus Christ. My dad was, well, I was born in London, and my father remarried after the war. My mother had disappeared during the Blitz, and he remarried, and so my 2 brothers, half brothers, were down there, and I was up here, and you know, they were so proud when I get that record into the charts. So a guy called Pete Shipton phoned me on a Sunday. I'd been in Aberdeen and I slipped into bed. I was knackered about 1:30 in the morning, and the phone rings, and I look, and it's 6:25, right, pitch black. So I picked up, "Hello, it's Pete Shipton, Andy, the producer of the record." I said, "Hi Pete, what is it?" He says, "You're on top of the pops on Wednesday." I said, "Fuck, I put the phone down." I thought he was winding me up. And he phoned back, he says, "No, seriously, you're on, but you know how your dad and your 2 brothers are taxi drivers? Could they meet us at Heathrow and take us into the studio?" I said, aye, okay. Then I had to phone my dad, right? I went, hi, how you doing? What's up? And I said, no, it's okay. I said, I'm on top of the box. And Wednesday he went, put the phone down. But they took us into the studio. Now the studio would be this size, right? And the ceiling's just the same height. And I saw my dad, right? He's one, I'm standing with a Scotland jersey, tartan banner around my shoulders, a tartan tammy, and I've got shorts on, and my legs are sticking down like 2 bottles of milk, you know. And I know what camera I'm singing to, I'm standing, I'm trying, and my dad's wondering about, he goes, how does it take all these cameras and all these lights to make a television programme? And I'm going, shh, I'm trying to remember the words. My 2 brothers, meanwhile, can't take their eyes off pants people, you know what I mean? Look at our nipples, you can hang your jacket on them, you know what I mean? With 2 bottles of iron brew in the pocket, right? The door opened, in comes a group called Generation X. The lead singer's a guy called Billy Idol, right? He's about 6'5", but he's got an oorwally haircut and he's got platform songs, right? So I'm looking up at him and I've got this Scotland stuff on, and he looks down and he goes, who the fuck are you? Before I could say anything, my old man said, hey, who are you talking to, by the way? Oh, he said, that's my boy. I was 38. That's my boy. Anyway, and then I got a radio programme. Apart from that, so I got a radio programme. You might have heard it. All the rangers to come on, you know. Hello, what's your name? Margaret. Where are you speaking from, Margaret? I'm in the lobby. The producer decided, we'll take it on the road, right? We'll go to all the seaside towns in Scotland during the summer. The first one was in Aberdeen in 1981. I'll never forget this. We're supposed to be in the beach ballroom, and it was such a beautiful day. They said, right, we'll go and make promotions, you know, on the radio to tell them to come, and we'll hold it outside. So they rearranged the stage and all that, and we went outside, and 1,400 people turned up, and I'm like that, shaking. And the producer says, go in amongst them and talk to them. You know how you like talking to people? And I'm, all right. So I'm getting, hello, what's your name? Mrs. McFarlane. Where are you from? Castlemilton, Glasgow. Oh, you're on holiday? No, we're up shoplifting. Yeah. How many is there of you? 4 busloads. And you're all shoplifting? No, there's an empty bus to take us back home, son, you know. So I'm going through the crowd, and I see this wee boy, and he's got a Rangers top on, right? This is 1981. Sorry about that, So, they take you long to come with your friend. Anyway, so, don't clap, and somebody will throw you a fish. So, where was I? I'm 83, I forgot. See, this wee boy's stunning. Kids didn't have replica shirts in those days, you know. So it was unusual. I said, oh, what's your name? Colin. I said, how old are you, Colin? I'm 8. Oh, I said, you enjoying your holiday? He says, I'm there on holiday. He said, I'm right in Aberdeen. I said, but you know, Aberdeen's got a great team. You can't support Rangers. No, my dad takes me all the Rangers games. So, who's your favourite player? Davy Cooper. Oh. Hamilton boy. I says, well, you know something about the game, sir. Nice to speak to you, Colin. I turned away and he's got my jacket. I says, what is it, Colin? Can I tell a joke on the radio? And I went, looked at the mother and father. Okay. I said, what's your joke? He says, what vegetable makes your eyes water? Oh, I said, it'll be an onion. He says, no, it's a turnip. I said, how does a turnip make your eyes water? He says, you ever been hitting the balls with a turnip? And I'm looking at him, and the parents are going, oh, he's an awful boy. Anyway, just before I go, thank you for coming, and this has been a fantastic tribute. Everybody that's come on to this stage loved them, as I do. and they've been absolutely fantastic. It's a great show. I hope you're enjoying it. All the best to you. Cheers.
Ladies, gentlemen, beautiful people, the man that doesn't need any introduction, Andy Cameron, give him a cheer. You know it's good when the band are creasing up with laughter. So amazing. I hope you're enjoying yourselves so far, ladies and gentlemen. I've got a feeling you are, that's good. Now, our next act, we saw him at the start of the show as part of the Wise Guys. He also starred alongside Chris in Mistletoe and the Divines at the Motherwell Civic for 2 years in a row. It was a Christmas show and he played Chris's son. He's here tonight, he's all emotional. He actually, remember the Barrowman show was on? His mum, Barrowman came to the Forge and his mum came to him off school when he was 12 and he sang for Barrowman and he got on the telly, right? So everybody knew him, this wee guy that was phenomenal. And then when he was a bit older, he went on and starred in Jane McDonald's A Star for the Night and he was fabulous on that as well. He's also toured with the Rocky Horror Picture Show. I know. Tonight he's not wearing suspenders, unfortunately, but he's here to sing for us one of Christian's favourite songs. Please put your hands together for Eddie Dobie. Give him a cheer.
How do you follow that? Andy Cameron. It was like playing stick away a rope, that was it, I was done that. Ladies and gents, I might not get through this, so
It's Ross Baden here in Hollywood. My thoughts are very much back at home and the honouring of a great man and a great entertainer. I was really fortunate when I was just about 16, 17. I was working at Radio Clyde. It was the late 70s, and I got this message that Christian wanted to speak to me. And Richard Park had given Christian my name and said, give the young boy a call. He'll be able to help you with songs that you're looking for your pantomime. So that was the first time I spoke to Chris. He was such a lovely man, and I remember running home to my mum and dad's in Knightswood and saying, I've just spoken to Christian on the phone today. And then in that weird thing of full circle, he actually came to see me when I did my first pantomime at the Pavilion Theatre in Glasgow, and he was just so lovely and so gracious. And then full circle again, my niece Holly was one of the babes in his panto at one of the Pavilion pantos. He was just a lovely man. He was just such a vibrant entertainer. I learned so much just from watching him, and also the fact that he was a true gentleman. So my thoughts are very much back with everyone there, back home in Scotland, and thinking about Chris. Take care, everyone.
All the way from Hollywood, Ross King, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, I think it's well established how much McClure Christian was loved all the way from Hollywood and everybody else around the world. And this next act, Eddie Doby, give him a cheer, give him a cheer. Our next act was actually introduced to Chris by her husband. He was a sound engineer working with Chris, and he had a concept to come up with this show because his wife loved Motown and Chris loved Motown, and they developed this show along with Ann Wilson called Tracks of My Years. She's here tonight. She's been feeding us all with brownies and homemade tablet. She's a queen of Motown, but to me she's a queen of everything, because she's stayed me all day and all last night rehearsals. Please put your hands together for the fabulous queen of Motown, Debbie Ann King.
Good evening.
I
Well, it's a pleasure to be here tonight, and I've had to sit back all night, but it's been a wonderful night, I hope you'll all agree. And when I think of Chris, it's always about the sweet things, so that's why I've been feeding everything. You see, Chris wouldn't come to a gig unless he knew there were cakes, or fruit, or anything sweet. But of course, there was nobody sweeter than the wonderful Chris, an absolute wonderful man to work with, and such a gentleman, sweet father figure, and that golden smile that everyone's spoken about all night, that was just there, no matter who you are. So, we do need a bit of a hand with this, so get your vocal cords going. Okay, let's see.
Thank you, Debbie Ann. Thanks very much, you know. Were you dancing? Good, even when you were dancing in your seat, that counts as well, that's good. Raising your, what? Right, security! Do you have cut hen? You enjoying yourself? Oh God, is that my mum? No, it's not, thank God. So, this next speaker is a legend in radio. He was one of the first DJs at Clyde, and he was one of Christian's favourite people. I'm going to introduce this man now. I love him, he's brilliant, and please give him a big warm round of applause. It's Bill Smith.
That's one of my old jackets he's wearing there, you know. I'm sure I gave that into a charity shop in the 70s. I don't know what I'm doing here actually, because I can't sing, I can't dance, and I can't do all these fantastic things that this mob are doing, although I've been out with them quite a few times. Hunting the lads, I must start by saying, when I first heard of Christian, or Chris McClure's section as it was, because I'm older than I look, I was glad Andy Cameron was here because that made me not the oldest person here. I didn't like Chris, didn't like him at all. I know it's strange, but I'd never met him because when I left school, I became a customs clerk. I don't really like a customs clerk, do I? No, I hated it. But they gave me a van, and that was a much better thing to have than a guitar or a set of drums, because you could go out with any band at any time and make money. But I came from Falkirk. The only place you could play in Falkirk was the town hall or a youth club, but we never got any gigs. But we did get a phone call this time to go up north, and in those days there's no discos or anything like that. We went up to Huntly, Kenny, Inverurie, all these sort of places, and you got a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, which was like winning the lottery. So I used to drive up there in my van, and we used to say, who's here last week? Oh, that was that Chris McClure section. Oh, really? Oh, who's here next week? Oh, it's Chris McClure section. How come he gets all the gigs? We sing the same songs. Well, mind you, we weren't very good at it. But I was just a roadie. I've always been a roadie. I got into being a disc jockey by mistake, by the way, but that's another story. Because after that, I became a roadie for Nazareth. You maybe heard of them. And I was on top of the pops with Nazareth. Well, I wasn't on. I was in the corner. But then I joined Radio Clyde through Nazareth by dropping off the Nazareth records, and the guy said, do you fancy a job here? Because I know you do a bit of DJing as well. I said, well, what are we going to do? He says, I don't know, we didn't think we'd get a license, so you can do what you want. So we jumped in there and did all these silly things. Tiger Tim and I, actually. The Tiger, who's still thumping away there, glad to say. People say about me, is Bill Smith still going? I'm still at Radio Clyde, but people don't realise that because I'd always do the equipment for them. I've always been bigger roadie than I was a disc jockey. So when I came back from Nazareth, I got a job at Radio Clyde, and I met Christian for the first time, and I went, oh, I must go on and see this guy. I mean, he's just an ordinary guy, isn't he? Well, that was our own thing to say, because just to see the guy with his proper outfits on, and his enthusiasm, and his professionalism, and his kindness as well, as everybody has been telling you about. And we got to do what we liked in Radio Clyde in those days in the beginning. I used to plug his gigs, and he was always grateful for that. And he said, I got married in 1976, terrible wedding, and I went along there, and I got Tiger Tim to do a disco upstairs. I actually got married in Shire Grange Hotel. Where's the people from Shire Grange? Whoa. Do you come from Pullman? Pullman. I know everybody in Pullman. I know everybody in Pullman because I was a paper boy. I delivered all your papers in Pullman. I never looked like that either. So anyway, I got to know Chris very well from plugging his gigs, and he says, I'm coming to your wedding. And I said, why are you coming to my wedding? Keep your seat. Oh, I don't need to keep my seat. I'll say, I'll make sure there's a meal for you. No, I don't need to do that. Because my wife is an accountant's daughter. She's an only child. She's mean as hell, you know. And he was an accountant for BP, and he was just the meanest guy in the world. I had to buy the wine at my own wedding and put it around the tables. And Tiger was upstairs doing the disco, and he said, "That's terrible, having a disco upstairs when we're trying to have a serious wedding down here." But anyway, it was dying a death, this wedding, till I heard Saturday night at the movies. And Chris comes dancing down the middle of the tables, knocking all the glasses to bits and everything like that. Absolutely shattering the place. And nowadays people say to me, they don't say to me, who have you interviewed, or who's the best person you've ever met, things like that. They always say, remember your wedding? That was your wedding. It was great, wasn't it? Remember Chris McClure was there? And we always made a joke about it whenever I saw Chris. And I saw Chris actually just a few weeks before he passed there. It was always the same, he was always great, and I miss him terribly actually. So, ladies and gentlemen, thanks very much for coming along and giving him that wee boost. Because I know where he is now, he'll be entertaining everybody as well. Thanks very much, thank you.
Bill Smith, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together. Thank you, Bill. So he wowed us at the end of the first act. He's now going to be joined by his two daughters, Ava and Cameron, who danced with Christian in Jukebox Memories. Please welcome back to the stage, Chris Judge.
Let's see if this is your audition, everybody. Put your hands together. Let's go to you, Chris.
Call me, baby, call me. He's a diva. Chris Judge, ladies and gentlemen, and his two daughters. Those two girls are off to London to train in musical theatre in about 3 weeks, so give them a cheer of luck. They're fabulous. I'm sure we'll see them on the West End stage very soon. So we hope you've enjoyed tonight. It's been filled with laughter and music and dancing and emotion, and no more so for Christian's son and his grandson. So now they asked if they could come on and say a wee couple of words. As you can imagine, it's going to be hard for them, but I know you're going to give them all the love and support that you can. So please put your hands together for Christopher and Christopher. Give them a cheer.
I am absolutely feared right now. What about you, Christopher? Yes, I'm so glad those lights are bright because, obviously, first of all, I'd like to thank everyone that came here tonight. It's absolutely amazing the amount of people that have turned out and the amount of people that have stopped me and wished me well and stuff like that. It's just amazing. It's just, it means a lot. And I had a script written. That's went out the window because I keep dropping it and I don't know where it is, blah blah blah. So I'm really, really nervous right now. But I've got to thank a few people, obviously yourselves. But if it wasn't for obviously all the entertainers in the band, and there's one man, Mr. Alan Walker, who's been a rock to my mum, and his wife Julie, who's sitting over there next to my mum. Alan's worked tirelessly. I don't think Alan's slept at all. He's just been working so hard on this. And there's a woman behind there called Shona McVeigh. All this on the screen. Shona has been working, I think, 28 hours a day, getting this all sorted, and it's just amazing. It just means a lot, so much to me, my son and my mum. The amount of work that's went into this, I'm still shouting myself.
Yeah, I'll go for it. I just want to say thank you. Granddad, I hope we're doing you proud, and we miss you every day. And it's not going to be the same without you. And thank you everybody for being here, and thank you everybody on stage for all the hard work you've done.
Thanks very much, everybody. Enjoy the rest of the show.
Christopher and Christopher, ladies and gentlemen, give them a cheer. That's beautiful. I love seeing straight men greeting mind you. It's good, isn't it? It's a change. See the children emotion. I love that. Hard night for them and for everybody involved, but we're all loving it. We're all glad we're here to honour the fabulous Christian. Shona, thank you. Chris said that she's been amazing. She's done all that work on the screens. I think she was given about 300 photographs and videos she researched. You're a genius, Shona. And the main man who's probably blocking all our phone numbers now because we've been phoning him saying what's happening, Alan, what's happening. I'm going to invite him back on stage and you're going to give him a big round of applause. He's going to finish tonight, or maybe it's not finished just yet. He's going to finish tonight with one of Chris McClure's favourite songs. He's one of his most famous numbers. Put your hands together for Alan Walker.
Thank you, folks. Cheers. I think I'm going to need all your help to sing this one. Here we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you please show your love and respect one more time for the one and only Christian!
You shine for an encore? I can't hear you. If you know Chris, or you went to see him, you know he always finished his set with this song. So please, a big round of applause to invite all the vocalists back on, and Chris himself as we sing this Motown medley. Give him a cheer!
Don't act like you misunderstand me when there is simply no mystery to it all. Do you love me? Really love me as I love you? It's the answer to everything. Give you